Mexican records got the lights down low. Souldisco where the groovy people go. Hit play, let the music flow. Old school beats with a modern glow.
Hello everybody and a very warm welcome back to the latest episode of Hidden Jewels of Soul and Disco. I do hope you're doing absolutely fantastic. Today we're gonna cover Geoffrey Stoner. We've already covered quite obscure artists on this program, but at the moment, Geoffrey Stoner, for me personally, is the pinnacle of obscurity. Why? Well, we'll discuss this after some needle drops.
A new woman. I just found a brand new woman. And next time you run in and see the simple truth beside you of this love I have for you today. And my lady, me wanna try. I said I may not make it, but I'll get by.
Geoffrey Stoner is an enigma in every sense of the word. There is little to no information available about him. Therefore, I reached out to some fellow soul and R&B lovers in the United States and asked them about Geoffrey Stoner. Some of them claim that Geoffrey Stoner never really existed in the first place, that this persona was created for another artist to release music due to some contract issues. If this is true, I have no clue, and there's also no proof to that, so this is a speculative topic, therefore I don't want to dig deeper into it. I also reached out to some musicians who were credited on the record. Thankfully, some of them are still alive, and I got a feedback back from one musician who told me, well, I have no clue who Geoffrey Stoner is, and I for sure did not do any recording sessions with him at all. But I was able to track down the daughter of someone who was involved in the production. And she will forward my messages to her father and we will see how this turns out. So I'm on the track for it. Unfortunately, due to the timing of the video, I don't have new information about this, but you can be sure as soon as I know anything, I will let you know. But what do we know for a fact? We know for a fact that the Geoffrey Stoner Band released in 1970 a single on the Store record label. And the A-side was To Love Somebody, a Bee Gees cover, an absolutely wonderful Bee Gees cover. And on the B-side, we had to Call It Lonely. Usually, when you have obscure artists and they have like a single, most of the time it's highly desirable and highly expensive and not available. In this case, you can still find copies of that single quite cheap. And as I really do love his version of To Love Somebody, I would say, let's have a listen.
That never shone down on me. I want my life to be lived when it happens. When it happens to you.
In 1973, Geoffrey Stoner was signed to Ovation Records and released his first album, Watch Out. And here it is in all of its psychedelic 70s glory. I really dig that cover art. So we know for sure that at least there's a picture of Geoffrey Stoner, and therefore I kind of think that he existed, because in the past there were some artists who just did one album or two albums, just like Lou Johnson. Lou Johnson did, in my humble opinion, one of the greatest deep soul albums ever. This was his last effort. It wasn't a success, and he vanished. So I do think that the same thing happened to Geoffrey Stoner. It's quite a fascinating story, but yeah, we will find out. We will find out. I'll let you know. So Watch Out was released in 1973, and a single release followed in the same years with Back to Georgia and Try. The Ovation label was a very interesting label because they loved the quadraphonic sound. So all releases which you find on Ovation are quadraphonic. And in this case, we have encoded stereo and discrete 4-channel tapes. And it's a QS, a regular metric system, which you can play also on your ordinary turntable. I will do a video about quadraphonic, the different formats, why it failed. I will do that in a separate video. There was also a reel-to-reel release on it on quadraphonic. I would really love to get my hands on this tape, but unfortunately it's extremely rare and like not to find anywhere. This album had some great versions. For example, a great cover of Curtis Mayfield, Check Out Your Mind. And my personal favorite is Bend Your Head Low. We have Fire and Rain, a great cover from James Taylor, and Brand New Woman. It's from the beginning to the end, a great sounding record. And also the way he sings his songs, I do love them very much. The quadraphonic sound adds a lot of it, so it's a really, really great sounding record. In 1976, to add a little more to the confusion, Geoffrey Stoner released his second album, and this was called Ain't Nothing Freaky. But this is only half a new album. What happened was that they took the Watch Out record, excluded 4 tracks, and included 4 new tracks to have a new second album. I have to say that these 4 new tracks blend in perfectly with the tracks of Watch Out. But it's kind of weird to do that. So I thought, okay, maybe these 4 tracks were leftover songs from the Watch Out session. But the personal on the second record, on the Ain't Freaking record, is different in some parts. So the backing vocalists were the same, but some musicians weren't the same. So it was a different recording session. The recording session must have taken place somewhere between 1973 and 1976, because those 4 tracks sound more like mid-70s music to me instead of early 70s music. So I do think there was a second session, that these songs were recorded. Why they didn't record more songs, like go ahead and do some cover songs to fill up a record, I have no clue. But this is also very weird. So I really can highly suggest that you check out both records. They haven't been reissued yet, and if you want to have the record, you have to go for the original pressings. But fortunately, these are not expensive. You still find them, once depending on the condition, for a very decent price. Like I said, as soon as I find more information about the mysterious Geoffrey Stoner, I will let you know. And once again, I highly suggest that you check out his music. If you liked that episode, I also highly suggest that you check out the playlist which is appearing up here, and I catch you on the next one.